Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast and YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Again, today is Friday, which is June the 21st. So I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment, educational, and sometimes informational and sometimes educational purposes. Um, so I consider myself to be a what? Spiritualist, psychic light, intuitive, magic mind medium, self-proclaimed parapsychologist. Um, I speak on many topics involving the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into the topic for today, which I'm going to entitle it Demons and the Revelation of the Rapture. Now, I also like to stress that I'm not a biblical nor religious person, although I may refer back to the biblical text. I can't argue the Bible and the body, but I can give you my spiritual sense as to what I feel it is, okay? Now, so as I have heard that the rapture is not in the Bible and demons and all of that is just a figment of your mind and your imagination, I do believe that. I do believe it's all based on what you will accept and what you will allow to be your reality. I believe that. However, I do believe they are real, if that makes any sense. So say for instance, um I think the biblical text, just putting it in layman's terms, is to tell on the heart as to how a person thinks. And when you begin to partake in religious things or whatever the case may be, that reality will become the forefront in your reality, if that makes any sense to anybody. So, say for instance, demons, demonic presences, I do believe they are real. I do. However, it's to tell on how a person thinks. So you can either let it reign in your life or you cannot, meaning it would take precedence in your life versus not. So if you believe in something, then you have it kind of similar to the saying, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, so to speak. So if you believe that this information or knowledge is true, then it applies to you because you have accepted that belief, if that makes any sense. It's not that it's not real, but because you have accepted that as your reality and you've given it power, it is real, if that makes any sense. So we're going to go into demons. Well, what is a demon? Well, according to here, it says a demon is an evil spirit, devil, or fiend, an evil passion or influence, a person considered extremely wicked, evil, or cruel. So, um, it mentions here that according to the Bible, in Christian tradition, demons are fallen angels and have the same characteristics as their good angel counterparts: spirituality, immutability, and immortality. Demons are not omniscient, but each one has a specific knowledge, sometimes on more than one subject. So I'm not going to sit here and say I agree necessarily with all of that. I'm just reading it for a guideline to pivot off of it. My definition of demons, I use it interchangeably in terms of the unseen versus the seen, because we as tangible people, physical beings, we oftentimes have to see to believe. So God will show you in spirit and it will manifest in us as physical beings, if that makes any sense. So I will use it interchangeably. We can be inhabited by spirits or demonic presences. I think demons are disembodied. However, they can manifest into the physical beings, us as tangible physical beings, to convey certain things, if that makes any sense to anybody. So, say for instance, to take to a senseless murder or heinous crime or whatever the case may be, I do believe are being perpetuated by demonic presences, is what I feel. Demonic presences. Um, I do believe it's a critical thinking tool as well, particularly when something is unfavorable, such as you need to take the trash out, or you need to clean up, or you need to do something that is right. Well, I think a demon will be contrary to what is right, if that makes any sense to anybody. So I think that when you start seeing the paranormal, it's God's way of tactfully, I got a net flowing around here, tactfully letting you know, okay, this is what you need to do, such as like a gnat to indicate, okay, you need to get the crumbs up, or you need to take the trash out, or, and the gnat didn't come until I started recording this episode, which I find to be very ironic. But such as a maggot, or like I mentioned before, buzzard. A buzzard to me is a demon in form, in physical form. It works the same way when you are in the company of certain physical beings as well. That is the truth. That is the truth. Because you have some people that they don't have that understanding as to what the biblical text means and what is being conveyed, to where God had to prove it to you and show you in physical form, because some people don't believe. They don't believe. Like I told my son yesterday, the other day, I said, my grandma used to say all the time, some people don't believe shit stink until they smell it. And I had to let him know what I meant by that. You don't have to get up on shit to know it stinks. You know shit stinks from a damn 20, 30 feet away. Metaphorically, you don't have to go through certain things to know that it's not favorable for you. So that's what demonic and demon, I feel, is. It's a critical thinking tool that existence being presented in here. Some things you will already know prior to. And when you have these taunts or these taunted spirits that try to pressure you into being or feeling a type of way, or try to manipulate you and what have you, those are taunting spirits. Now, when they begin to act upon unfavorably, I believe they are demonic spirits, is what I feel, because demonic spirits try to force, such as a rapist or a murderess or um, a thief or whomever. We're not here to force no one to do anything he and she does not want to do, because that is not of God. And once you have break somebody's spirit and spiritual apathy sets in, it makes them susceptible to, as I told my son, rape spirits. Rape spirits. If a person is so conditioned and used to being harassed, nitpick, and doing everything somebody tells them to do, they won't know not to do something that is not right or favorable. So when you harass people and break their spirit and their pride and they know how, they would think being raped is appropriate. They would think that it's right. They won't see no different from it, because this is what I've been groomed for, and this is what is right to me. That is not of God. That's demonic. I'm not here to force nobody to do nothing he and she does not want to do. And as I told my son, when you continue to perpetuate this same cycle over and over again, it will bring in rape spirits. And God will put you in motion to where you will know what you know, what you don't. So that's what demons are. Now, this is not going to be a long podcast. Again, this is not going to be a long podcast. Here we are at 10 minutes. I'm going to end within the next 5 or 10 minutes, okay? Because I do work a job, and I'm pretty sure other people do as well. So the rapture. As it mentions here, a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. It says, according to some millenary teaching, the transporting of believers to heaven at the second coming of Christ. This one here says, transport a believer from earth to heaven at the second coming of Christ. I'm going to let you know what the rapture, what the revelation has come to me being in my 40 plus self. I think God lets us in on certain secrets at milestones in life, believe it or not. And you know what he tried to tell you? Don't tell the movie. Don't tell the movie. Don't tell the movie. It's something I'm telling you. Don't tell the movie. If that makes any sense to anybody. But I'm going to tell you a little bits and pieces of it. I'm not going to tell the movie because I'm still watching it myself. Okay? Now, you will begin to see spirit on people. Yeah. The rapture is when you begin to see spirit on folk and you will know spirit and you will begin to see spirit from time ago. You will know from a little bitty child that this person is going to become something that is not of this earth. And you're going to begin to see why they place certain spirits and certain individuals in spiritual duties or spirit related jobs there. And once that revelation come to you, that's why we wear a gun. Because once it has been unleashed and unveiled to you, you're going to see that these spirits trying to set me up and they don't even realize it. See, once your spiritual sight has been honed, you'll begin to see Satan for who he truly is. And the illusionist, the magician, is God, is what you'll begin to see. You'll see him in your children, you'll see it in your parents, you'll see it in co-workers, you'll see it all around. The biggest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world it did not exist, or he or she did not exist. And they'll use shit they don't give a fuck about just to transition you away from this space. They don't give a damn about these children. They don't give a damn about nothing. Because this is what it's written. I am going to take you out of here because that's what this says. That's what the rapture is. When you see Satan for who he truly is. And it has been unleashed, unveiled, kind of like a bride to be put together to somebody, and you take that veil off. Uh-huh. That's what the rapture is to me. Now, it may not be that to you, but that's what the revelation has come to me. And the desire for this exists. And I have a lot of learning. I have a lot of living. I have a lot of things I want to see prior to me making my transition. I don't propose to make it into the next 40 plus years. I'm going to speak it and I'm going to look towards that because I have purpose and I have longevity in me. But I'm not going to let no taunts, no demons, no misery, as the saying goes, misery loves company, take me away from this space. Because I aspire to get to the happy place, and that is my heading. That means I aspire to see some things, experience nature, get out, connect, and live. That's what I aspire for. So this is what the rapture is to me. Now, what it is to you is contrary to what the revelation has come to me, and I do aspire to be in that happy space. I do. And I'm going to self-proclaim it, I'm going to declare it, and I'm going to decree it. So demons are real. I want you to know I think it's a state of mind, whatever you accept as your reality. I do feel that way. Take it in and put into a positive fashion and form, and then proceed. They are disembodied creatures that can be inhabited because, as I mentioned, we as physical beings only can go off of what we see. So I have to put it to you in human form so you will know. It's what that means. So I'm going to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense speaking about demons, the rapture, and what my take on that is. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.